channel. Around this period, 30 years ago, our own very Super Eagle of Nigeria won their first ever World Cup match in USA. And people still consider it as our best outing so far. It was our first ever World Cup appearance, and that tournament was amazing in USA. Now, welcome to the channel final, which we wear everything about sport. Football is brought to you to organic from analysis to reaction, and even Nigeria football to bring it to you too. And on set with another person than Mr. Ben. Mr. Ben, it's nice having you on set again.
I'm glad to be here.
You're welcome. Mr. Ben,
Yes.
today we want to talk about this tournament in USA that other generations consider as our best outing so far. What's your take on this, Mr. Ben?
Well, the USA 94 World Cup, unforgettable tournament.
Yeah.
It was unforgettable. Yes, many in the older generation still consider it our best tournament so far, and rightly so. You know, we went into that tournament with our highest FIFA ranking so far. We were ranked 5th behind Brazil, Germany, Switzerland, you know, Norway. We were ranked 5th, our highest so far. And then we're in the same group with Argentina, Bulgaria, and Greece. Group D, they called it Group of Death. That was our group. But before I start talking about those games, how memorable, you know, those games were, let's look at the background to this tournament. You know, we were actually supposed to qualify in 1990. That was a World Cup before, but we narrowly missed out. In the last game, we needed a draw against Cameroon, but we lost that game 1-0. An ill-fated Omambi header. And, you know, that was how we crashed out. You know, then Africa had just 3 slots. Just 3 slots for the World Cup. So it was really very competitive. It was a disappointing game for the whole of Nigeria. Was, you know, so cold after we lost that game. But it kind of revamped the team, and our players, you know, took off from there and started doing big things. In 1992, we went to the AFCON in Senegal, and we finished 3rd, beating Cameroon in that 3rd place match. Then in 1994, Tunisia, we went on to win the AFCON. And that was our 2nd AFCON after we won in 1980. So our players were already known all over the world because of what they did at that AFCON and what they were doing. You know, we already had many people who tell you that the players that played in 1994, you know, that we used home-based players. People are looking at it from what happened in, you know, 1992, 1993. Those guys came from our local leagues, you know, to go and do what they did. But as at that 1994, because of how spectacular the performance was, many of them were already playing in Europe. You know, we already had Finidi George and Benny Roja. Finidi George was playing in Ajax. Benny Roja was playing in Vitesse. That is the USA 1994 team now. From the back, we had Peter Rufa in goal. We had Uche Ukechukwu. Uche Ukechukwu was playing for Fenerbahce. We had Chidunwanu. Chidunwanu was playing in Anderlecht in Belgium. Then this guy, Benny Roja, the left back, was playing in Vitesse, Ajax. Finidi George was playing in Ajax. Amunike was playing in Zamalek. Then Daniel Amokachi was playing in Club Brugge, Belgium. Samson Siasia was playing in France, Nantes. Yekini was playing in Victories, Portugal. So the team was red hot, and it was ranked 5th in the world. But then, if you look at the quality of opposition they came against, that also, you know, made the hype bigger. We're in the same group with Argentina. Argentina had the almighty Diego Maradona. You know, and everybody coming for the World Cup would actually come to watch Diego Maradona at that time. And Argentina finished runner-up in the previous World Cup. They lost in the finals to Germany. So the team was star-studded, but I don't need to talk about the other players. Once I say Diego Maradona, you know the kind of team we're coming up against. Then we also had Bulgaria in our group. Bulgaria had players. They had the Ivanov, But let me talk about just one player, Stoichkov. Stoichkov in 1990 was the highest goal scorer in Europe. He won the European Golden Boot. In 1992, he was runner-up FIFA Best Player of the Year. Then the Best Player of the Year award was separate from the Ballon d'Or. In 1994, he was still runner-up FIFA Best Player of the Year. Then in that same 1994, he won the Ballon d'Or. Then in that same tournament, Stoichkov scored 6 goals and he was the top scorer in the tournament. And he finished with the bronze ball behind Romario and Roberto Baggio of Italy. So you saw the kind, you've seen the kind of player
really
that
a
the
group of
Super
them.
Eagles were coming up against. Then we had the indefatigable Greece team. They had some of the, their best players of all time, like the Savis Kafidos and all that. So it was really, the opposition was tough, even though we had very big players. Pele of Brazil had predicted that Nigeria was going to surprise people at that tournament. And then the tournament kicked off and we came. It was our first appearance. No matter how good your players are, you remain an underdog being your first appearance. We came up against Bulgaria in that game on that great day. And then the game began. Bulgaria, charging. These guys, they are new to this tournament. Let's show them what we are all about. But before we knew it, something that was working for them, that worked for the Super Eagles, was that all our attackers, even the ones on the bench, were big, strong, fast players, except Amunike. Amunike was not big, but he was strong and quick. Emmanuel Amunike on the left, strong and quick. Rashidi Yekini, top 9, big, strong, quick. Daniel Amokachi behind him, big, strong, quick. And of course, George Finidi. George Finidi was on the right side, one of the best right wingers in the world. Tall, strong, very quick. Finidi actually, and it's so funny that we are talking about Finidi, given what just happened with him at the Super Eagles. His contribution to the Super Eagles actually very immense. And that game began 21 minutes. Finidi broke loose from the right wing and he sent that pass, that square play to Yekini. And boom, Yekini scored Super Eagles' first ever World Cup goal. And he went into that net, that iconic celebration where he held the net. Yekini was already a big name from Tunisia 94. He was fantastic, highest goal scorer, World Cup qualifiers, top scorer with 8 goals. And in Victories in Portugal, he was firing from all cylinders. So he was already a very popular player that everybody expected something of such from. And that made the goal more iconic, being a very popular player, the most lethal player in the team, and he turned up scoring that first goal. And on the 43rd minute, the same Rashidi Yekini broke loose from the right wing and he sent a pass to Daniel Amokachi. And what a finish. Amokachi actually went in for the ball with the Bulgarian player, and then the ball slipped past him and the player, past the goalkeeper. He was on the ground. And we're looking, should it be a penalty? Was there an infringement? Before we knew it, Amokachi stood up and did that beautiful turn. And boom. It was a goal. The beautiful turn, the finish was so classic. And the ball was at the back of the net. 2-0. First half gone. What is going on? Are we whitewashing Bulgaria? Okay, maybe they are going to put their acts together and bounce back in the second half. Second half came in 55th minute. That cross came from the right wing, and there was Emmanuel Amunike with the flying header. And 3-0. Bulgaria was down. Next game was Greece. Amunike scored both goals against Zambia in the final of the Tunisia 94. So his name was already on the lips of Nigerians. Next game was against Greece. Greece, these guys had very old, experienced players who were still, very strong and all that. But what did they get? We beat them 2-0. It was, we began with a very beautiful finish from Finidi George. After Amunike used his pace once again, he was running them down throughout that game. Then he broke loose from the left wing with his pace and strength. He sent that ball to Finidi George. And Finidi George with a lovely lob over the goalkeeper. Beautiful lob gave us that first goal. And he went to do that celebration where he was crawling. Many sports channels still use it, as part of their montage. So, and the game was going on. Greece was trying to equalize. Was really tough, much tougher than what we had against Bulgaria. But then at the 90th minute, Daniel Amokachi picked the ball from an unmarked. He was unmarked in that space. But there were many Greek players, about 5 of them behind him when he got the ball. This guy breezed past 6 players. And later, Amokachi would say that he was told that we needed to score the goal to qualify. I don't know if he didn't really understand because we're already leading 1-0. He said, but when he had it in mind that we needed one more goal to qualify, he was determined that no,
he must shake that net.
that this net must shake. And he took that ball, breezed past 4 Greek players, and from about how many yards? Fired that thunderbolt. Thunder from outside the box 18. 90 plus 2-0. And the qualification was sealed. And the third game was against Argentina. Of course, our should I say bromance or our sportsmans with Argentina started from USA 94. And we came up against the almighty Diego Maradona. It didn't take long before Samson Siasia scored against Argentina, but we ended up losing that game 2-1. There were a lot of people complained about the officiating. Maradona kept on falling and falling. He would later confirm that the number 15 shirt of Nigeria, which is Sunday Olise, is a lion. That the guy is a terrific player. And it was after that game that he was actually picked up for a doping test. So people believe that all those things came into play in that game. It was actually, we played very well. The game was, and this 1994 team we are talking about, the bench, we are talking about the first 11 players. JJ Okocha was on the bench. Mutiu Adepoju was on the bench. Alvan Ikoku was on the bench. Thompson Oliha was on the bench. The players we had on the bench then would walk straight into many national teams at that point. And then we went on, to that second round against Italy. Italy were eventual finalists. So for you to know, the quality of opposition. One of the greatest Italian players of all time, Roberto Baggio, was in that team. Roberto Baggio was helpless throughout that game. JJ Okocha, oh my God. People need to go back and see some of these games. They need to go back and see this game. Emmanuel Amunike opened the scoring in the game against Italy. We were leading 1-0. First half gone. We were in control of the game. Italy stood no chance. Italian coach Arrigo Sacchi, I didn't mention our coach Clemens Westerhoff, did a great job assembling that team. Shout out to Westerhoff, still regarded as one of the best coaches we've ever had. He was a renowned manager, very well known in Ajax, coached Vitesse, a lot of other big sides before coming to Nigeria. Italian coach Arrigo Sacchi was shouting, screaming atop his voice outside, cursing at his players that you are going to allow. He was even, making some racist chants. Are you going to allow these black guys to knock you out of the tournament? They have taken over the game. The man was screaming. When there was nothing to do anymore, he now had to resort to playing dirty. And what did he do? He brought on a player to take out Daniel Amokachi and Emmanuel Amunike. Because he felt that with those two, there was no way.
He could benefit.
Yes. Take out this player for me. That was what most Nigerians felt. But if you look at the way it played out, you would actually want to affirm what Nigerians thought, because the player was seen receiving instructions from the touch line, and then he went ahead to dish out those brutal injuries
Yeah.
to Amokachi and Emmanuel Amunike. Italy and those substitutions came on, and our team, became weaker.
Weak, yeah.
Amunike, Amokachi out
Yeah.
was really a big blow. And Italy actually had a red card. Gianfranco Zola was sent out, 76th minute, but they managed to equalize. Roberto Baggio scored a goal around 89th minute. That was his first goal of the tournament, actually, because he was not doing well until that point. And when they equalized, the team became weak. We went into extra time and we're still doing very well until that ill-fated penalty came. Austin Eguavoin, charged carelessly on Baggio, and Baggio finished off from the penalty spot, and that was how we crashed out of that tournament. And it was really a sad one because we had a team that many believed could go on to win that tournament, because this same Italy finished in the finals. To tell you how good our team was, that was their toughest game, going on their road to that finals. And Pele said Brazil would have found it tougher if it was Nigeria they faced. So basically, it was an exciting tournament. It was really great. The players went on to do bigger things after that time, because the whole world saw what they put in. Amunike went on to Barcelona from there. Daniel Amokachi to Everton, and the rest of them went on to greater things after that tournament. And that's basically.
Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Ben. Thank you so much. We're wonderful at it. You gave us the best and nothing but the best. But arguably, it was really our best ever World Cup outing. To be honest, even in my opinion, it was the best. It was a memorable moment for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And this is our time of finals. This is where we draw the curtain for today's production. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let's know what you feel about the 1994 World Cup in USA. Bring it to you again as keep happening. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.
And let's hope that we make it to the next one.
Inshallah, we'll make it to the next one.
Bye for now.
Bye for now. We'll see you again next time. Thank you.